This Peruvian inspired rice pudding, Arroz con Leche, will be a great warming dessert that you would want to come back and make again and again. You can check out the full recipe linked down below. This recipe is part of the Comida Peruana collab with 13 other YouTubers. So go ahead and check out the full playlist because there's some great Peruvian inspired food all across. We're gonna start by rinsing that rice really well and then letting it soak for about 30 minutes or so. You wanna get that water kind of clear, and in the meanwhile, you can preheat the oven. We're gonna be toasting those pecans so we can garnish this at the very end. Now the rice has had the time to get puffy and it's ready. So we can boil some water with our aromatics like our ginger, star anise, and cinnamon. I'm also gonna add in a lemon peel and just get that all infused into that water so that when the rice is added, it's all gonna be part of that rice. So once the water is boiling, let that just get all those flavors together for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then you can add in the rice and stir. Since the water is boiling, tone that heat down and then cook the rice for about 15-20 minutes or so on low until the water has been completely absorbed. The rice should be nice and fluffy, but it doesn't even matter if you overcook it. It's gonna be a rice pudding, right? So since the rice is cooked, remove the ginger, the whole spices, and then add in your milk, the coconut milk, maple syrup, and vanilla extract. A pinch of salt here will help to unlock and really showcase all of these beautiful flavors. Just stir this all until it's well combined. And yes, this recipe is lactose free, but you could also make this with condensed milk and a combination of whole milk. It'll still be as good. Typically in Peru, evaporated and condensed milk is easier to find. That's why most recipes for arroz con leche uses those ingredients. You can now turn that heat to medium-low and just let that simmer very gently as you stir and stir and stir. Don't let that stop stirring so that nothing gets burnt at the bottom. And it should take you 15, 20, maybe 25 minutes just to make sure that that liquid has reduced really well. It has thickened and the rice is just super soft. Now I'm not gonna add raisins because I've never liked raisins. I like grapes, but not raisins. But if you like them, then add them in right now and just let that kind of simmer in there with that pudding for about 5 or so minutes. Now of course you can adjust the sweetness to your preference, so add more or less maple, just give it a taste, and you can actually serve this both hot or cold. I would prefer this cold because just like becomes thick like a custard, and I kind of like just swallowing it, I guess. But before you top it and before you serve it, actually just top it up with some cinnamon powder and some ground nutmeg as well. That's gonna be the final touch to this dish. And if you love this Peruvian rice pudding, the chaval kheer, Indian inspired rice pudding, is one of my all-time favorites. So go ahead and check that out. I'll see you soon. Coconut flakes,